We are now live. You get that email I get an email every time we go live. You get that?
You do? No, I never get an email.
I get it when you go live, when Fern goes live. I got enough emails coming in. Can we shut that? Can we shut that email off? Oh, freaking echo. We got an echo now, Cody.
I don't know what's going on.
Is it with you or me?
I think it was, I don't know. Like it was like replaying everything you were saying twice.
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it should be in life in general. If I say something, you should hear it twice. That's how profound I am.
I am better than you.
I'm level 4.
Oh, what was that? Go back to that one.
I'm level 4.
I like that. Did she say I'm L4?
I'm level 4.
I'm level 4?
Yeah.
That's it. Although I did put up a post yesterday that the level doesn't matter, right?
You did? I didn't see that. I muted all of your posts.
No, you did not. I should mute yours. It's either coffee or a picture of your wife. That's all you post. I mean, better than pictures of you, for the record.
That's fair. Yeah.
We got
I use my wife for clickbait.
I think there's a term for that. It is called pimping. It is pimping.
I don't know.
Speaking of pimping, will you bring Kat on?
Boom.
There she is.
Hey.
Kat, did you forget we were going live?
No, I got stuck on a meeting, and then the link was giving me the 404 page not found, and then it started.
It's Cody's fault then.
And I just kept clicking on it, and then it started to go.
It's always my fault.
Well, where's the whack pack at? We got Nick over here. And Lifetime Dan, who's not technically officially in the whack pack.
Where's the whack?
And the whack pack just gets bigger and bigger.
I got them loaded up. They're just ready. They're ready to go at any point.
I love it. All right, actually, well, let's dive in. We got a short one today, 16 minutes. We're gonna watch it all. Kat, what's so funny?
I was loading, and I was like, I can't believe this is like 15 minutes of Snatch progressions.
That's how it should be. We're gonna dig in. Let's really dig into some coaching today. I will say this. I mean, Kat, since you were last on the show, new credential, level 3.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
Congratulations. Do you attribute passing your level 3 to being on the show?
I mean, it's definitely one of the factors that helped me, because seeing and correcting was one of the areas that I felt most confident in when I was taking the test. And without being able to practice it and film it and get feedback, I wouldn't be as strong as I was.
One of the factors, she said.
That's still a good answer.
Hey, Lifetime Dan in the chat. I didn't do the lifetime lid this time. It's not too late. I think it runs through Labor Day. I was debating whether or not I haven't been going in as much now that we got a sauna at home. You know, I only go in like once or twice a week. So there's like weird people in the sauna at Lifetime. And now that I've got my own sauna, I'm a little spoiled. Like, no talking in the sauna. Lifetime Dan, can you take down some notes right now? I'm gonna give you some notes to pass on to the GM Matt. No talking in the sauna unless it's to me and I allow it. Because sometimes I do want to talk, and then it's acceptable. The top corner spot reserved for me. No one else should be there. Pat's watching. Pat is usually who I'm talking to in the sauna, by the way. Oh, Matt's out. Congrats. He had the baby. Cool. Well, who's in charge now? That's what I want to know about Lifetime. What are some other rules, Pat? You know some of the rules. Like, look, if you're going to throw a towel on, underwear. Like, I don't go in with just the bare... look, if you're going in with just the towel, I'm going to see your genitalia. At some point in this excursion, your balls are out. For lack of better terms, Kat, I'm sorry you had to hear that. But spandex, mandatory. No spitting. Spitting is gross. Like, don't spit. These are obvious, right, Kat?
I mean, I think so. You'd be surprised.
The sauna at Lifetime
I've been
dry?
in that sauna.
Is it a dry or wet sauna?
There's both. There's a steam room and there's a sauna. In the steam room, people are even more disgusting. There's look, I'm going to say this, and I mean this full honesty. if I went in there and there was a dude, lack of better terms, touching himself,
Jeez.
it would not surprise me. I'd be like, fucking Lifetime. That's what I would be like. I'd be like, this is where we're at. This is what it's come to. So I need someone to. I need Pat's in charge of the aquatics. Dan runs conditioning. There needs to be a sauna steam room manager exclusively. That's how we run.
They have pretty strict rules on the outside of it. I mean,
They're not being upheld. They're not being upheld. The standard is the standard, as we say here.
That is what we say.
Right here.
That's
right
what it
here.
says right there.
That's all it should say. Like, no rules necessary. The standard is the standard. All right. So,
Pat
Kat,
just texted and said, "Are we going to talk about CrossFit?"
who said that?
Pat.
Pat, don't stop watching, Pat. You know what? If you're not satisfied, stop watching. Right? Cool. Anyway, Pat, you don't get to use my reverse hyper now. I got a reverse hyper from Rogue. It's sitting outside. Pat's got to put it together.
That is the
Once you put it together, Pat, don't use it. Don't even look at it. What's that, Kat?
The reverse hyper is the little brother to the jerk block. It just holds your things.
No. When I have a reverse hyper, I will use that 3 times a week. 3 times a week. I was
Really?
with Kevin Ogar last week. I worked a seminar. That's why we didn't have the show. And he said, if you care about your back squat, you need to be using the reverse hyper. And I used to have one. My back's been a little tweaked. So I'm excited to use it again. Kat, talk to us. We're about to watch you coach the snatch.
Hey, real quick, I got a recap video of the last one. Want to hit it real quick?
Are you serious?
Just a little snippet. Just a little snippet. All right,
Do
so
it.
look, check it out.
Cody, can you coordinate with Kat? I want Kat back on.
Yeah.
All right. Next,
we're gonna do a
next
follow-up here.
available, put her down for the next one. I know it's like into March at this point, but Kat, you good with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
And let's have you. I want you coaching the snatch again.
Okay.
Same movement, same space. New and improved Kat.
Okay.
That's what we got. We got a
That
new
wasn't a
improved Kat.
recap, dude. That was a snippet. And I have a couple of questions. One, why did you tell me I look so homeless with that beard like that?
I'm waiting to give you the trophy for this year's besties. I'm passing it back
Man,
to
I
you.
look so much better. And Kat, your hair is longer now.
I know.
Yeah,
It's time for a
very short.
haircut.
Your hair is still very short. It was longer. Mine was longer too. All right. Well, you're back. You're back. What were some of the call to action? That's right. Boucher saying something intelligent for once. So, Kat, what were some of the things we were working on?
Some of the group management, like ways that I could kind of squircle them up to be able to.
That's why you passed that level 3, because you got that new vernacular.
Yeah, that was definitely not on there. But being able to like see from better angles and then really working on the cross circle cueing. So giving a couple of static cues and then a dynamic cue were some of the biggest things that we focused on.
Okay. Let's check it out. Anything to add before we dig in, Cody?
No, I'm good. Add your screen and we're good to go.
Let's do it. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. It's been a minute.
Have to reteach them every single week.
I got that recap. That recap threw me off. Who did that? You or Nate?
I did that. Come on, man.
You made that? Share. Cool. Add to stream. All right, here we go. I'm gonna blow it up. Oh shoot! I think I forgot to add the sound.
All right, guys.
You
So
hear that?
Yeah, we got it.
All right.
we are going to form what is called a squircle.
Good job.
Okay. This is a circle, but kind of.
I honestly, we're done. You're good.
That was it.
You basically, that's a level 4. That is how you do it. Great job, Kat. Great job. Let's talk through. These are I don't recognize.
Yeah, these are people you don't know, Jason.
Yeah, there's lots of new faces here. Is this the
Well-
5 a.m.?
5 a.m.
I was gonna say last time you were coaching 6 a.m., so it's still an early morning class. This is good.
Yep, Jason still doesn't know any of them.
I didn't recognize. Is this guy's name Dustin?
No.
Okay. What's the guy's name with the beard? I thought that was Dustin.
I think you're pointing to Alex.
This guy? Yeah, you're right, Matt. You're right, Alex. Yeah, thanks, Pat. Cool. But I love it. Squircle. 5 a.m. What time do you wake up?
3:30.
Holy shit. You wake up at 3:30 in the night every day?
Well, if it's snowing, it's 3:15. And I don't know if you guys have realized this, but for the last like 4 months, it has snowed every Wednesday night, and I always coach the 5 on Thursday. So there was a lot of weeks where it was 3:15 wake up, 3:20.
Wow. That's early. That's late, actually. That's late in the night.
Kind of square. So we're going to fill in right here. We're going to have somebody down here like Grandpa at the head of the table. Blake's volunteering for that. Yeah. Yeah, like Grandpa at the head of the table, you know.
The jokes are failing here, Kat. That's all right. It's 5 a.m. They're just tired.
Pretty much.
I know.
Awesome. All right, so
Yeah.
you see Adam was just kind of marching his knees. That's how he likes to find his snatch grip. I recommend that is one way to do it. So we're going to get that wide grip on the PVC. Make sure that it's sitting in that hip crease. Yep, good. Okay, first thing we're going to do is just a dip and hold. So what that looks like is dipping and holding until I say stand. Okay, so we're looking for a nice vertical torso.
Good so far. I would have them do. We just started, Corey. Don't you worry. I would have had them do some pass throughs.
They already did that. I didn't film
Okay.
that.
They
Yeah,
did
we did-
pass throughs pre-camera.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that. You like. There's many different ways to establish your snatch grip. The thing is, like, you could do it wrong, be too narrow, and then when we go to snatch load, like the whole point of the pass throughs is I can bail backwards without hurting myself. So cool, as long as it was done.
All right, everybody dip.
Okay, so now I'm looking for
Straighten
you
those elbows, Adam.
to be on the outside of the
Nate,
squircle.
straighter elbows. Blake, bring your torso upright. Yeah, there we go. John, can you bring your feet in just a little bit? There we go. And
I think I
stand.
get there eventually.
And
you know
dip.
what?
Bring your torso back till it hits my hand. Good. And
That's not like the most important thing. The most important thing is what's happening. They're getting a lot of cues. Being on the outside of the circle just simply never has your back to anyone. But man, you nailed like 4 cues off the rip.
I mean, we're not even 90 seconds into this thing yet.
Yeah. This is coaching. Now this is pre-level 3.
Well, I mean, there's the argument of how long have you really been in L3 before you pass the test, right?
This is like one of life's big questions, right? Like, am I a level 4 or was I born a level 4? Right? Like, Mom, did you push out a level 4? That was a C-section, I think, actually. Mom, did they pull me out of you at level 4? Did I earn that? That's a good question. I don't know.
But yes, it was pre-certification.
Yeah, it really depends on your religion, depends on your beliefs, all those things, right?
yeah, that was awesome. It was like very noticeable.
Yeah. Look how vertical. That's like, if I had to put a definition of vertical torso in something, I would screenshot that person right there.
All right, Luke, bring that torso upright. Good. And stand. And dip. Butt back about an inch. Yep. There you go. Straight elbow.
What is happening?
I don't know. What is that noise?
Who's hiccuping?
It's my dog.
Oh,
Is he hiccuping?
Can you hear that?
Does he have hiccups or is he barking? Does he have the weakest bark ever?
I can't believe you can hear it. He's having puppy dreams right now. He's
What do you
like,
mean you can't believe we can hear it? You have a loud dog dreaming in the background. What is that, a great mastiff or something?
No, I don't know if you can see him.
Oh, Katie would be, what is that, a lab mix or something?
He's a cattle dog mixed with corgi.
Barking. I love when dogs are sleeping and dreaming. It is honestly the best thing in life.
Well, all I could think was, is he really doing that like right in the
That's
middle
all
of
right.
the
All
call?
good. I'd prefer that. Is that Frank? Is Pat right? Is that Frank?
Yeah, it's Frank.
That was Frank. Katie will be very excited. She will try to steal Frank when she's in town for the mastermind, which I know Jeremy's coming to.
Nope.
So super stoked about that. All right. Hey, Kat, crushing it. Let's see.
Elbows. Yes. Zoe, nice straight elbows.
Show the puppy. That is inappropriate, Brandon. That is not how you talk to Kat on our show. That is inappropriate, and I will not stand for it. If you want to show the puppy, Kat, show the puppy.
Oh, I'll grab the puppy. Come here, buddy.
Grab the puppy. He loves the pugs, yeah.
Say hi, everybody.
That's funny. Oh, he's a big boy.
Oh yeah.
I look so
60-pounder.
small there. Look at him. He's all like, Mom, I was sleeping.
See,
All right.
this is clickbait. This is
This
clickbait
is
right here.
clickbait,
This is
yeah.
how you get
This is why
views.
we do it.
Show
Hey, we got
puppies.
more viewers now that Frank's been on than earlier. So than when Pat was talking, that's for sure.
Much better on the elbows, Adam.
I cannot
Like
believe
torso
how
back
much you're
upright.
coaching right now.
Back a little bit more. Good. Tuck those
Cody,
ribs.
right?
Good. And stand. Dip.
Look, yeah, this is awesome.
Good catch, Maggie.
Look at look at down this row right here. Vertical, like boom, 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 like perfectly.
And name every time.
This guy Alex, a little bit still, but he's got that beard. It's pulling him forward of that frontal plane.
Stand. Dip.
Oh, he's better now, man.
Good position, Emily. Alex, good position.
And
Jason,
there's
straight
follow up
elbows.
and
Yes.
praise.
And stand. Dip. Much better with the torso, Blake. Luke, bring it back about an inch on the
We don't usually pause, but we only have a 15-minute video today. But I will say this, like, we've had lots of conversations in the coaches development group portion of Affiliate U where it's like, we're doing mayhem and there's no room. Like, this is what happens when you don't have time. Like, this is what's getting skipped. And, sometimes you might be like, well, my members don't care. Like, this is not only going to help their snatch, it's going to help their clean, it's going to help their push press, it's going to keep them safe. It's probably going to cause them to PR. Like, this is what coaching is. I mean, this is 5 a.m.
torso. Good. Stand and dip. Butt back about an inch.
And here's the thing, like, what is it called? 10 people. The reason they're doing this is not because the camera's on. They probably forgot about that already.
They're
It's
pretty
because-
used to it.
Yeah, they're used to it. And it's because Kat's being relentless. She's just like, oh shit, I better do this better. I don't want to be doing this, but if I don't do it right, Kat's there in my face yelling at me.
Yep, you got, there you go.
We had a woman, actually, what was I going to say, girl, Candy Hughes from our Affiliate U, Cody, Kat, squat clean 275.
That's more than you, right? That's more than your
way
best.
more. Look, first of all, we're not judging. We never judge on this show. And I consider it a safe space in my life. So I don't appreciate that. Significantly more than I do, yes. But she's so impressive. Candy, Jones N4 CrossFit, like her and her coaches are all doing great when it comes to coaches development. Yeah, but that was my call right before this. She was like, I PR'd my clean. I was like, what'd you get? 275. I mean, that's double Pat Oyston's clean. That's literally exactly double what Pat does.
Off topic, but I do have a question. Do you think that you can lift more with a female barbell than a male barbell?
Probably depends on the lift, but short answer, no, because to be honest, like if you just make that switch, there's probably a yes in there if you practice. Right? But I did 41 squat clean and jerks this morning. And I've got small hands. I hook gripped everyone. I was so sweaty. The tape that I'm using now is like I showered after. It's still on there. Like I was just grabbing that thumb, trying not to let go. But I don't know. Kat, what do you think?
I mean, I definitely think there's an advantage to being able to like have a more effective hook grip, especially depending on hand size. Yeah.
Don't you also think like that's only an advantage if you practice it?
Well, yeah, I think that's true with anything.
I'll say this. Anytime you get more than 2 plates on a female barbell, it has more whip than a male barbell. So if you were squatting with it and you have over 315 on it, for sure you can take advantage of the little bit of a bend and flex.
You think so on a squat?
Yeah.
Or squat clean?
No, with a squat.
Interesting.
Ribs down. Good. Stand. Dip. Straight your elbows, Adam. Luke, straighten those elbows. Squeeze the triceps really, really hard, and then bring that bar back into the hip. Yeah. And stand. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is a dip and shrug. All right. So we're going to dip, shrug. We're going to keep our feet planted on this. So we're going to dip, shrug. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Thank God.
Go ahead.
We're going to keep our feet planted. Was that because of me? Or did you?
No, I don't like it when the
despise-
heels come up.
Yes. Nick Pierce knows. I despise when people teach the toes because it almost always leads to being on your toes early or pulling early.
Yeah.
Drive through your damn heels, and a natural byproduct of that will be you come onto your toes. But if you're a coach that teaches toes, it's always like I'll just watch it go wrong. And I watch hundreds of coaching videos every week for our coaches development. By the way, we got 2 sledgehammers. Number 1 draft picks, Cody. We brought on Denise Thomas and we brought on Lindsay Andrew. 2 of the best coaches in the world. They're now under the Best Hour umbrella helping out with coaches development. So even more reason if you're an affiliate owner or a coach, you should be checking us out. Denise Thomas. Do we have breaking news yet?
No, I tried. I can't find it.
Oh.
We don't look. We're operating on a
Literally
really
all you have
small-
to do is Google breaking news sound.
We're operating on a really small budget over here in the marketing department
That's
because
fair. And we haven't got any donations today.
we got any
No-
donations.
No,
right?
Mike.
You
Mike's not
take
throwing any
way
money.
too big of a draw out of the company,
I do.
and
I'm trying to bankrupt us.
and I can't afford to pay for sound effects.
But you can afford those Faraday legend sweaters, I see.
And dip.
All right.
Like more upright on the torso, about an inch.
Did I go backwards?
I don't think so.
Yes. That was great.
I thought you said we're gonna dip and drive.
We are.
Cut back half an inch. Yep.
I'm trying to fix them.
All
Because
right,
as soon
and
as
shrug.
we're gonna go, they started leaning
Good.
forward.
Emily, next one. Straight elbows on the
Yep,
shrug.
that guy pulled
All
also
right,
in the
and
blue.
dip. Shrug. That was way better.
So
Dip.
here's where good. I'm glad you're stepping
Bring that
out because I
torso
want you to
back
get
an
a
inch.
bigger vantage point. Now.
Blake, torso back. Good. Try and fight that forward lean. John, torso back. And then Maggie, butt back an inch.
Who's Maggie? The red?
You fix the torso. So keeping that torso up, I want you to send the butt back just a little bit more. There you go. Okay. And shrug. Okay, keep those elbows straight. All right. Dip.
See this guy? Watch his
Blake,
feet
torso
in
back.
blue. Watch his feet.
About another inch. Keep going, keep going. Yep. Let's see. What did you say, John? All right, and shrug. Good, that was
He's
better with
on his
the
toes
elbow
early,
straight.
despite that.
Dip.
So let me give you one piece of feedback. I think you could do. How do I say this? I think just be a little more, not direct. You're being direct, but like a little louder with your cues, like dip, call the rep, and then I think you could do faster. I think you're doing a really good job with your coaching and the cues. Dip, like maybe like 1.25 speed. Like don't double it, but like a tiny bit faster.
I do feel that I'm working on that. It's hard to speed it up because you're just like, but I definitely feel it.
That's where like, okay, as a coach, that you're giving out 3 to 5 cues, like cool, I'll give out 2 or 3. As soon as I give out that third, I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Butt back just a little bit. There you go. Shrug. Dip. Blake, you already know what I'm going to say? John, same thing for you. Torso back. There we go. It is. And the further we get into this, you're going to feel that like want to dip that chest even more. We just have to fight it. Maggie, that looks way better. Shrug. Good. All right. Now we're going to add the high pull. Oh, I was like, who's getting warm? I love it. Okay. So we're going to dip and you're still going to shrug, but now, of course, my coat's in the way. So the idea here is we are keeping the bar nice and close.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to high pull.
You zip it up
Okay,
your
so this
jack.
is only going to come up to probably about torso. So I'm going to take this off so I can show you guys a little bit better. Okay, keeping that bar nice and close.
Good demo.
All right.
Multiple
This
angles.
is where all of you elbow benders are allowed to start bending the elbows.
Thanks, Ryan.
I know, I was looking right
Good
at
idea.
them. All right, let's dip. Blake, that's getting better. Let's widen the grip a little bit and still bring it back 1 inch on the torso. Luke, good position on your torso.
Like right there is where you would
Let's
have done
send
it.
the
Like
butt
Blake,
back about half
do
an
this, go.
Yep.
And then watch Luke on the next one. You know, as we're watching this, and we'll see, My only concern I'm having right now with this progression is you're putting him in this perfect dip every time. Once you start calling go, I would be curious to see what happens to that torso angle.
A little bit wider grip. I know we lost.
And I will say this: last time, one of the points of one of the
Yes.
actionables that we gave her was we want to see pauses in the static position to call cues and 3 cues every time. So there's a
Nailed it.
balance. There's a balance there of do I call 3 cues every time and how fast am I doing it? So, and I can tell that you're trying to get those cues in, but that we're dragging it out a little too long in between reps too. So there's definitely a balance there.
Yeah, and that's no different than a cue, right? Like wiggle your toes. Like it's an overcorrection. So maybe we took Cat too far, and now we just find that middle ground. But I can tell you, you going too far in this video is still bare. Like it's not really too far. It's like some of this is subjective. It's like my opinion here. At the end of the day,
Not with your arms.
the objectiveness of this is: did they move better at the end?
High pull. Good. Jason, next one, bar a little bit closer on the pull. Okay, dip. Torso back a little bit more, Jason. Straight arms.
Yeah.
And high pull. That was better, keeping the bar close. Dip.
Good follow up,
pull.
good feedback, good praise.
Bar close, Maggie. And dip. Knees out a little bit more, Adam. Nate, I like that you're keeping those arms super duper straight. Let's check in on Adam, our other straight arm person. Yes, they do look straight. Okay, high pull. Good. Adam, a little bit higher on the pull next time. All right, and dip. Okay, let's drive the knees out a little bit more. Can we get the weight more in the heels? Yep, without losing this torso.
Man, that guy really wants his
Dip
chest
back
out,
about
huh?
2 inches. Yeah. High pull. And dip.
Something I consider with
So
him
on this next one for the high pull, I want you to keep your heels planted. So we're going to squeeze butt.
is a more tactile approach. So PVC behind him, maybe, or put him on the rig there, just so he feels it, rep and rep, time after time, because he just really wants to drop that
Muscle
torso.
snatch. Yep. I'm going to do that again. Okay.
Some
Okay, we're going to stay right here, right in this power position.
okay, power snatch.
So just from that high hang, okay, go ahead and dip. Yeah. And snatch. Stay there. Back down. Yep. Bring that bar forward till it hits my hand. Adam, nice job breaking that bar. Adam Lundy, straighter arms. Yes. Luke, straighten those arms. Good. Bring it back down to the hip. Yeah. Dip. Snatch.
Watch her.
Bring the bar back.
She seems a little too upright.
Forward would be a better word. There we go. Bring that butt back just a little bit more. A little bit deeper of a squat. There we go. Yep, stay there. And then bring the bar forward until it hits my hand. Nice. And stand. Back down to the hip. Dip. Blake, you know what I'm going to say? Yeah.
That's it. That's that's where you want to get to with it. That's good.
Bring your feet closer together.
Yeah, I like seeing the follow up.
Where to go? So right under those hips.
And Blake's relatively new to CrossFit. He just started in January. So these are new movements for him too.
So that's looking way better. Stay there. Have you bring the bar forward just a smidge. Back a little bit more.
Yeah, once again,
Adam Lundy, straight arm.
I'm thinking okay, so if I'm here, what am I liking? What am I not liking?
All right.
And I think the biggest thing I would say, if I were taking this class, I would want to do a few more reps.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a lot of reps, but I think you could do more. That's all.
Is this the first time
And also, to be fair, part of it is
okay.
seeing it faster. You'll get better at that too, and I'm sure that's getting
Because
better
you just started, right?
every
Jealous?
time.
All right.
Are you competing at that thing this weekend?
Look at Nate's elbows, everybody. Look at how big his arms are.
I got injured.
You're hurt right now?
Yeah, so Randy had to go and find somebody else to take my place.
Are you going to be there?
I'm going to still go and cheer him on.
Yeah, I'm going to swing by. I'm going to be.
All right, guys, and
by.
stand. We're going to add in position 2.
Who'd Randy get?
Nicole. So she's another 6 a.m.er, so you don't know her either.
Okay. Then I'm going to say snatch. I want you guys to bring it into the hip.
Measured in
Before we jump into
smidgens.
the
That is
snatch.
accurate. That is a
Okay.
that is a
So
unit
we'll
of
go like
measurement,
this.
Dan.
Say dip. Position 2. Snatch.
Okay.
You guys are going to stay here till I say stand. Okay, dip. Dip. So the first thing we did. Go ahead, dip.
As you were doing this, Kat, how did it feel? Did you feel like you were belaboring it? Did you feel like you were
And position 2.
maintaining their attention, losing their attention? What was going on for you?
I feel like there were
Arms,
parts where it
switch
was a lot
arms.
quicker, and then other parts that like took longer, especially when I had somebody that I was like trying to give a verbal cue from across the circle, and then I had to like, they were like, okay, they're not getting it, you know, like they didn't understand that cue, and then I have to like get over there to correct their position more like tactily or show them. I think those are probably opportunities to like not have everyone hold and have them stand, and then like call it again, and then go watch them on their next rep to make it move a little bit quicker.
If it's a dynamic, yes. If they got to here and you're like, oh, I see it, don't have them stand.
Mhm.
Remember, Cody and I have spoken about this before. Like, give them that position and then give them something to hit next time.
Okay.
Right. So I think what you're doing there is great. Again, I think it's twofold. I think one, just maybe 75% of the cues you're currently giving gets you moving them a little bit faster, and then a little bit more speed in seeing the faults, which will happen. Like you're seeing everything in the static position.
Mhm.
There we go. And that. Let's see, just a little bit higher.
Did you get a raise with that level 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
All right, and
Jeremy's cutting checks over there.
back
At
down
Awesome
to the
3.
hip.
Well, yeah, he just got his
Adam, I
all the
forgot to
L2s, and now I'm an L3. Just his payroll just like went way up.
Yeah, I think when I did that level 2, 4 or 5? Daniel, Pat, Anna at the time, Randy, and Val all were there, right? So 5 were there, and then you now got your level 3. Yeah,
How do I get raises around here?
that's impossible.
Adam, nice straight elbow.
You got to just do better getting donations. That's your pay.
That's it.
We got to get into a wealthier demographic of YouTube viewers. Is what we need for you.
Yeah.
We got Boucher over there. You know,
This is just a personal for me, but I heard you say position 2, and I know that's how it's often taught in weightlifting. But to make it simpler for, let's just say, somebody who's brand new, like that guy that's in the back over there, you could say something like at the knee, right? Like it's very specific and direct versus position 2. And now I'm guessing like, well, I don't know what that means. I'm having to look around the room and figure out what position 2 is because I've already forgot.
So Randy and I have been trying to teach them the positions.
That's fair.
yeah, and I think both, right? Cool. Like, so maybe it's like position 2, go above the knee, go, right? So you're refining it. I think that's a very fair point, Cody. I think it's one of those things where it's like we do it so long, it's like we know what we're expecting, and they're still like, "Where's position 1?" Like
Sometimes I'll say like
5 in the
position
morning.
2, which is the knee, or like position 1, which is the high
Yeah.
knee. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think it ultimately what it comes down to is, hey guys, I'm going to say position 2. That means above your knee, right? All right. So now we got the full snatch. So the other thing I would consider with all of this, right? This is about to be the first rep. I don't think I missed any. So consider we're at 14 out of 16 minutes in. So here's the other thing I would tell you, Kat. You really took a long time on that initial dip. So now we have less than 2 minutes. I would tell you, if I said, hey, Kat, you have 16 minutes to coach the snatch, I would want to see at least 6 minutes of full snatching.
Mhm.
So, we're a little behind there. And I also think based on your progression, that dip, which is vital, the next 2 or 3 steps, you still had time to work on it,
Mhm.
right? Because you did a dip to the shrug and then a dip to the high pull.
Nope.
Right? So, hey, guys, we're going to dip everything you did. And maybe I'd be like, all right, Blake or the dude in purple or, so-and-so is still working on it. It's not perfect, but I know I've got 2 more steps along the way that I'm going to still continue to hammer them. Right? So, it's like, don't belabor the progression. And the goal of a progression is to get to the full movement. You as long as you know what's coming, like I know, okay, I got time. We're gonna keep doing this.
Yep.
You know, because like you experienced, like that fault was still there.
Yeah.
Despite how much time you spent on it.
Nate, let's drive those knees out.
Her butt is a little high, it looks like.
That tends to be, she has a hip
Jason,
injury.
butt
Yeah,
about
she's
half
doing
inch
something,
higher.
like-
Yeah, great.
The
And
last video, I
snatch.
think we were down low and she was like rolling out of
Fantastic.
her
Next one, Alex.
position.
Jump higher. Okay. Back down into the dip.
Yes, Brandon.
Okay. Down to the knee.
What's that from? Brandon, what's that from?
Down
What
to
song?
mid shin.
Toes.
And snatch. That was better.
Ah,
Way higher. All right.
let's watch that one again. Better for one thing. So now here's where we get nitpicky, right? Like now you're level 3. You've done. Let's talk about all the things. Set them up well. Had a progression. Know where to look. Multiple. I don't think any rep has gone by where you didn't give out a minimum of 3. Thanks. Now it's a matter of, are we also looking at dynamic faults? Because this is the next level, and I know for the level 4, like one of the things you have to pass is dynamic cueing. So this is where we're gonna watch. I think it was the next rep, but watch his hips.
I just got the blank stare. Jason, butt about half an inch
Go
higher.
back
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little
Great.
too far.
And
Great.
snatch. Fantastic. Next one, Alex. Jump higher.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you saw
Back
that,
down into the dip.
right? Now let's watch the next one.
Okay. Down to the
And by the
knee.
way, to my point earlier, like you're making them pass through that dip every time, right? All right, dip. Q, 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 right? So get to it a little faster because you are going to take advantage of it as you go.
Down to mid shin.
Okay, so you're watching Alex.
And snatch. That was better. That was way higher. All right. Stand.
I think it was better. But if we only look at how high he jumps, we're going to miss hip extension.
Yep.
Okay.
You can still jump high without extending.
Yeah. You know, and it's not like it was this massive lack of hip extension. I always tell people, it's like, you gave me 95, I need 100. Right? So jumping higher, that could work. Jumping harder, squeezing your butt. You know, ultimately, I think what you said is good. That was better. You didn't say, hey, that was perfect. That was better.
What? Much gooder. All right. Into the hip here. Dip. Bring that torso back. So it hits my hand. Come back. Good.
You got plenty of time
Down
to
to
dip.
the knee. Adam,
Let's
straighten
watch
those elbows.
this guy.
I love how both Adams were like, I don't know who she's talking to, but I'm just going to err on the side of caution. Down to the shin.
Spend blue hips.
Zoe, butt a little bit lower. Yeah. Alex, butt lower about like 3 inches.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, it was too low. I lied. There we go. That must.
Hey, I'm really happy with all this, though. All this skewing, and I really love that. Like, we all make them like, hey, lower. Oh, that was too low. My bad. Like, that was good.
Much better.
Well, I don't know what's going on with Zoe.
It is what
Maybe
it is.
she's injured. We need to fix her up. But yeah.
She's seeing PT, but she also just has a lot of trouble like holding static positions, especially if it involves like a deep squat or anything that's going to hit her hip.
The deficiency defines the need. And that's what, you know, this is a perfect example of like, oh, you get members are like, I need more. It's like, and not to knock on Zoe. This is like many people at your box. It's like, you struggle to hold the bottom of your squat with PVC. You don't need to do another workout. You need to really work on these positions because this is strength training for her.
Yeah.
This is strength training. It's getting her stronger. And more importantly, it's getting her stronger at a new range of motion. All right, we're watching this dude's hip extension, the guy next to him.
All right, and snatch. Nice jump, Maggie.
Perfect example of like barely, but not opening his hips.
Yeah.
All right, back down to the hip.
And that's not a knock on you, right? You weren't watching him.
Yep.
I was watching him.
Down to the knee. Mid shin.
Cody, you ever like, I had pre-workout this morning. There's just a little bit at the bottom of this, and I put more water in. I was like, nice. Midday pre-workout.
Sure. You know, it's a little bump.
Mm-hmm.
Snatch. Nice hip contact, Luke. Stay there, stay there, stay there.
All right, I'm gonna try to pause him
that
on the next
bar
rep.
up to the sky.
That might be the
Luke, work
last
on
one.
straightening those arms. Let's bring stance
There it
up
is.
a little higher.
I
There we
want to go
Good.
back. I just want
And
to show everybody what I'm talking about.
a bit lower. Yeah. Alex, butt lower about like 3 inches. That was too low. I lied. There we go. That much better. All right, and snatch.
Right there. Oh, that's perfect. So, and again, this is not a not. I don't want anyone to think this is a not like you're not expected to see 10 people move dynamically. You're watching one person. But here's a great example when I'm like, don't worry about how high he's jumping because he's clearly off the ground, but he also clearly is not opening his hips and he's already pulled that bar up super high. Right. So big picture is just that's what's next for you now, Kat. Like that is truly the separation between a level 3 and level 4. Like is now I can see dynamic movement and fix it. Yeah, there's a great example.
Nice jump, Maggie. All right, back down to the hip.
We'll watch it. You did one more rep. We'll watch it one more time.
Dip. Down to the knee. Mid shin. Snatch.
Right there, exactly the same position, right? And again, I'm not suggesting you missed it. I'm suggesting, as you next time, if you get to the snatch earlier, you have more reps per person to watch this. And once I got to this portion, I would only be looking at that hip extension.
Yep.
Nice hip contact, Luke. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Push that bar up to the.
Is this new? Did you change the theme?
Yeah, I changed the thing.
You see how I noticed that, Cody? You impressed with that?
I mean, look,
First of all, Dan, why don't you have an image? Secondly, Jason, what's your fix for something like that? He's jumping super high already, but the hips aren't opening. What cue to use to fix that while not giving too much one-on-one attention? That's the challenge, right, Dan? With and for all of us as CrossFit coaches, this can easily become, and I see it all the time in the coaches development. It's like you're working one-on-one, and you got 9 other people there. I think for this, I mean, Kat's not seen him move dynamically. So it's kind of like a big picture. Big picture is if we were at the snatch 6 minutes ago, and I'm going to stop sharing because I think we're done watching.
Yeah.
If we were at the snatch 6 minutes ago, I get 2 to 4 reps per person, right? So Dan, the whole, and for everyone, this is why we want to get to the movement because the more dynamic stuff happens once we get to that full movement. What's up, Chubby Cox? Is that your real name? Secondly, do you think that's his real name, Cody?
No.
And secondly, if I were to, there's a lot of different things. Squeeze your butt, jump harder, give him a target. Like he's jumping too high. And again, going back to what I said earlier, sometimes our cues are overcorrections. We don't want to be jumping that high in the snatch. Now, I want to have a violent hip extension, but I've also got 135, 185 weighing me down. Something I would consider doing. So let me give you even a more direct answer, Dan. If I notice someone's doing that in my group, and it's like most likely if one person's doing it, a handful are doing it. In this scenario, I like going into a little like mini progression in there. So I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna just call a deadlift, and you're gonna squeeze your butt as hard as you can at the top. Cool, ready? We're gonna do 2 of those. Ready, stand. Ready, stand. Now we're gonna do a full snatch. Ready, go. Right, so 2 deads, 1 snatch, or even a dead into a deadlift shrug into a snatch, but reinforcing that. Like, did you feel that? Like how you're squeezing your butt there? That's what I need you to do on this next rep. Right, so that'd be one way I do it, Dan, where it's maybe helping 1 to 2 people in that group, right? Like your Lifetime is a great example. You got a bunch of people. I'm sure they don't open their hips. All right, guys, on this next one, I'm going to call 2 deadlifts and I'm going to call 1 snatch. Ready, dead, ready, go. So I think that's an easy trick to do that. Cody, anything?
No, that is very similar to what I would do. I may not go like dead snatch, but have them stand all the way up with a barbell. And if it's a PVC pipe, we can do something like a tall snatch where it's like, I want you to stand at your tallest and now move under the barbell. And it's like, okay, now let's do that with some speed and some momentum. Just want you to feel the top position. Like this is where you need to be.
Yeah, and there would also be nothing wrong with, all right, guys, put your PVC down. We're going to jump and really squeeze your butt as hard as you can. Right? Like, so lots of different ways there. I think the big picture for Dan's question is just like address the group with it. There's no one in that group that can't improve a little bit on that hip extension.
I've heard this before too. Jump as hard as you can with as little height off the ground.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
That's kind of what I'm teaching to with this. Like when I teach the push jerk at the level 1s, no one opens their hips because they're like, we're doing a push jerk. I don't want to jump high. Cool. Well, jump as hard as you can then, right? Or something along those lines. It's like the weight's going to keep you down. The issue is not that guy's jumping too high. It's that he's jumping too high without opening his hips.
Yeah.
If he were doing that but opening his hips, I'd be like, cool. You could always reel people in, but it's hard to get more out of them, right? Mm-hmm. So I'd rather you over-exaggerate that hip extension and know that, hey, the workout's going to reel it in, or I can reel it in for you, but you're squeezing your butt, you're opening your hips. Questions in the chat. Hit us up if you have questions right now as we begin to wrap up with Kat. Questions about, for Kat, when she was coaching, questions like that from Lifetime Dan, for me or Cody or from Kat. But man, Kat, is this the first person that came on twice?
Yeah, I think we have Gitterman coming on afterwards too, but I think she was the first repeat.
Well, definitely most improved, and I would give her most improved ever.
Most improved.
Yeah, most improved. I mean, that was high level coaching, Kat. That was very, very good.
If we're going back and looking at the feedback we gave her last time, and did she improve on that? There's always something to work on, right? But the three actionables we gave were hold the static positions, give more cues, use the squircle. I think she did all three of those.
She did it. So I've got a couple of things that I want to say. One, and that's feedback, right? Feedback's only valuable, like we talk about, if we implement it. And they're running out. Besties is just for staff, for the record, Boucher. Do not expect a bestie coming to your house now that we know your address, Boucher. We got a documentary on the Bouchers coming out. We're going to I like these questions from CS. But here's the thing, Cody. I just thought of this. Kat, are you good? I feel like you got red. Are you good?
I'm good.
Good. We didn't offend you. Did I offend you?
No.
Okay, cool. I tried to offend you. You're unoffendable. We need that shirt, Cody.
Yes.
I got an idea. We're going to give her another feedback. Kat is going to be the first person on air we prepare for the level 4.
I mean, let's do
it.
That way, whenever she gets it and we say, do you think that this show...
It's not questionable. It's not one of the factors. It's the factor. So, Kat, here's a couple of things, and I see a question from CS. If we're going to... Let's give you something to come back on in a month. Regular guest, Kat. Show up on time next time. That's feedback number 1. Secondly, make sure your dog has either had a full night of sleep or sleeping in the other room. Okay, those two things aside, I want you to move at like 1.25 speed on the reps. And I also want you to get to the movement faster, right? So here's a rough range. It's by no means perfect. At least 30% of the time you devote to that movement should be at the full movement. If I were to give you a percentage, right? Like, for example, for those of you that have taken the level 2, Sunday mornings, one of us will teach a movement to show you what we're expected. And we usually have 10 minutes. And our goal is typically like, I want to be at the full movement by 7 when I have 10 minutes. So that's why I give that 30%. Of course, it's different every day. Like you had 16 minutes today, you might only have 12 tomorrow. But let's have you teach another movement that you have a progression, any movement you want. Criteria being we can hear you, we can see, etc. And come back on. You'll coordinate with Cody. We're going to get you ready for that L4. 1 year from now. 1 year. Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
What is that face?
I don't know. It took me that long to study for my 3.
Yeah, but now the 3 is studying. The 4 is like the productive application of force, right? We talk about that with CrossFit. Like the 3 is you have potential. The 3 is your contractile potential. The level 4 is, can you actually do this thing? And I do believe you can. Nick, do I think you're ready tomorrow? It wouldn't surprise me, for the record. If you showed up and passed, I'd be like, I had a nice influence on it. I see it. Nick, but I think in a year from now, I told one of our clients, Dave Fife, CrossFit Wilsonville, the same thing. Like, dude, right now, no. 6 months from now, yes. And, all that's going to stop you is just, are you putting in the time? Like, which you are. You're showing up. Like, you can definitely do it. Yeah. Cool. Cody, we're going to do this. This is going to be a big deal.
What, 12 episodes? 12 training sessions, 12 coach development sessions right here live.
But I said fans. I don't consider these
From
these
level
are friends.
3. From
These are friends that watch us. Who wants to see that? Who wants to see Kat work with us live on air to earn that level 4? While they're answering that, pull up the question from CS, please. How did you feel about that's the incorrect spelling of Squircle, for the record? That is incorrect. I'm assuming you understood what he means by that, Squircle.
Yes.
Okay.
It's funny. So that was kind of early on. So this video is actually a little bit old at this point.
I know. I noticed that when Cody and I were getting ready for the show, I was like, oh, this has been here for a bit now.
Yeah, because I knew we had to kind of reschedule things. And so I've been using the Squircle since I implemented it. And everybody in class just knows to do it. And I really like it. I think I've worked much better on the outside of the circle. So I've gotten them closer. That was very early on in the Squircle evolution. So they were kind of far apart. Now they're a lot tighter.
I think that was reasonable for the movement they were doing.
Yep. Yeah, I've gotten them a little bit closer, especially today we did deadlift. And so I'm able to get on the outside of the circle a little bit easier. And they're pretty used to it. I think that first time they were a little bit uncomfortable with it, but it's been a lot more effective for seeing things. You can still look down and see lines, but then you can look across and see other people's movement as well. So I really like it. And when I first started doing line drills with everybody there, when it was a new gym for me, I really didn't think I could fit everybody into a circle, but I've had 18 or 19 people on that side of the gym in a circle successfully.
Yeah. And, it's hard to tell. I know from that box, and by the way, that's the same affiliate that Cody's been sharing posts of Fern. I know you messaged me about it, but it was that's Ralston Creek CrossFit. That little space, there's probably 12 to 1400 square feet, I would guess. It's not huge. It's not huge. Well, first of all, everyone's behind the level 4 call to action. So it's been said. You will get that. Let me ask you this, Kat. And Boucher, are you being sarcastic with the have you tried lines? I think he's being sarcastic. Let me ask you this. We're trying to say this to not offend anybody. You're at Ralston Creek CrossFit. I think here's a challenge for coaches. Ralston Creek has fantastic coaches. Pat aside, everyone's a good coach there. No, Pat's not many people. I love Pat. Dare I say he's my best friend. There are coaches where the rest of staff do not do this. And I would imagine there's a challenge there for the coach that wants to get better. The challenge being man, we go to Kat's class and she hammers us. We go to Randy's class and he's like, let's have some fun. Do you experience, and I know Randy's a real person, but I also know all of you coach like this, but did you experience that in your past? Because I know you come from other boxes. So what's that like and how do you overcome that? I think that's really important for, the viewers to see because many of you are the coach that wants to get the level 3, level 4, and the other coaches are I didn't prepare. I don't know what to do. How do you navigate that?
Well, I left.
So, and I think that's important to hear. If it's no longer suiting your needs, I remember when I met you at your level 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, they do great stuff over here. And I probably have told no less than a dozen people at local level 2s to come to Ralston Creek. And quite a few have, for the record. But you were like, yeah, let's do it. And it's not convenient. Like you said, you're waking up at 3:15, 3:30 in the night to get there to coach. So it's Yeah. What else? Tell me more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have. I'm actually really confident that I wouldn't have been able to pass my L3 had I not switched gyms. Because again, one of the things I felt more confident about was my ability to see and correct. And I got there because I practiced and because I filmed myself and because I had a group that was willing to go through progressions with me. And that was not something that was available at my old gym, right? Progressions, like drills and lines were not only discouraged, the programming didn't really allow for it either. And then, there was a lot of challenges with filming and like getting that feedback that I really needed to get better. So I don't feel like I started doing progressions until I started coaching at Ralston, because that was the first like safe, place. But I wasn't the only one doing it there. Like it wasn't like all of a sudden the athletes weren't like, well, nobody else makes me do this and like fighting me on it like they were, my previous box.
You have really nice teeth.
Thank you.
Did you know that? Did you know that about yourself?
Thanks. I do hear that. They were very expensive. I've had quite a bit of orthodontics.
Oh, good. Well worth it. Well worth it. No, I think that's important. I think, man, it's really hard if you're the coach at a box. We talk about change the people or change the people, but it's really hard when you're the only coach at it's not even just like, oh man, Kat's mean, but it's like they just don't want to do it because no one else makes them do it. So, I remember you specifically when you left. I don't know the name in order to say it, but I remember when you came over and I was like, oh man, this woman cares about becoming a better coach. That's what it takes, right? Like it's certainly less convenient for you.
Oh yeah.
Wait, did you donate to yourself, Cody? I was like, Cody, I don't think you understand how raises work. It's my this right here is exactly why you don't get a raise. Because you don't even understand money.
Look, I'm just trying to put the metrics in my favor, right? If we go back and look at how much money we've brought in, at least I can, inflate the numbers a little bit.
All right.
Well, it's like starting the tip jar with $2 already.
That's right. Yeah, we will. That's not how you do it. Chubby Cox.
Well, look, the idea is somebody's got to start the snowball, and we got to build some momentum.
You should have done that earlier in the show. I think is part of it too.
Look, now it's a pity play.
I was not flirting with Kat. I just am a big fan of telling people things. We live in a world where it's like, this is exactly the problem. I can't even tell someone they have nice teeth. Like, thank you, Boucher. It's working, Cody. It's working.
It works.
But yeah, people think it's weird. Is that weird that I told you had nice teeth?
Well, I mean, your dad's a dentist too, so that's probably something. I just
noticed when she was talking, I'm like, her teeth are like super straight and white. Anyway, I wish someone told me nice things more often. Yeah, we should. Here's the homework for everybody in the chat.
Oh, geez.
I want everyone to give a compliment out to somebody today. Not to us. Go give a live compliment to a stranger. We're changing the world with this show because Kat's gonna get her level 4. We're gonna have acts of kindness happening, paying it forward, and Cody. I mean, technically he's even right now, but he's I would argue you're a little down because I would imagine YouTube takes part of that $1.99.
Well, and I don't actually receive any of the money from these donations,
and we don't give any of it to you. Yeah, so even more reason that you're I'm benefiting. I'm up $3.98 right now, or whatever that came out to. Thanks, Chubby Cox. I appreciate it. But I said not to me. I appreciate the kind words, Boucher. I appreciate it, Chubby Cox. But I want you to go out there to a stranger. Kat's no stranger to me, but I want you to go out there. Kat, speaking of compliments, man, that might have been one of the best examples of coaching on the show. Cody. Brandon, that is inappropriate. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I know where you're going with that. And no. Kat, sorry you had to see that.
I didn't see it.
Okay, good. You don't want to see it.
She's focused on the task at hand here. You're the one.
I'm just really impressed with Kat. Like,
you need to minimize the comment section.
Do you have anything to add, Cody?
No. Like you just said, one of the best examples of coaching that we've had on this show so far. And
that's no knock. We've had some heavy hitters on the show.
And definitely a step up from the last time. I went back and watched the old video because I wanted to know what we told you before.
You watched the full video?
Yeah, that's what I do. I do research.
Man, I take it back. You deserve every cent of that $1.99. Hey, Dan's got a real question for her. Kat seems very cool. She is very cool. She's also very strong and is very good at double unders. I remember that workout that you smashed me at still. Remember that workout? I think I might have quit actually watching you. Do you remember that workout?
Oh yeah, it was double unders and like front squats.
Yeah.
I think I lapped you.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, if there's going to be a workout I'm going to lap anybody on, it's double unders.
Yeah, but we're not talking about lapping people on this show, Kat. I said compliments. I think you don't know what that word means.
Real quick, Philip, too. No, this is not just for level 2s or level 3s. It's for everybody. Like, we open the show up to anybody that's willing to come on here and take feedback, because it's not easy to put yourself out there and be vulnerable live with, we only have 15 to 20 people watching this live, but thousands will see it. And if you want to come on, put your video out there for people to see and let us give you feedback, then come on. All you have to do is send me a message.
Yeah, I would love to see more of you guys. Look, I look forward to this call. I look forward to Wednesdays when all of you are on here in the chat. But we want to get you guys better at coaching. Like, if you want to get better, hit us up. We also, per yesterday's show, Cody, we're going to have a game show in a couple weeks, and we want to invite some of the Whack Pack on there. We're going to have a game show to help people learn the level 1 and level 2 stuff even better, and then that will lead into our level 3 prep show. So be on the lookout for that. I'm sure Cody will post about it on social media and all that.
Yep.
So Cody can dig into it. If you email Cody, it's spelled Kodi the proper way, at besthouroftheirday.com. He'll give you all the logistics, but yes, a mic is mandatory. You need to have a mic. Before recording your show or your coaching, Philip, email Cody just so he can make sure you do everything properly. And earbuds do work. There might be an app you need to download to get your earbuds to work, but there's plenty of inexpensive, like $8 mics on Amazon. What did you use for that, Kat? That was really good.
Yeah, it's like a $20 Amazon mic. It's like, when you type in like whatever those things are called, the lapel mic. It's one of the first like 2 that you get. I want to say it's under $30.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's some cheap ones out there. Game show. We haven't decided the Andrew Charlesworth always calls me mid-show, Central or Midwest affiliate rep. We haven't decided the game show format. What's that, Cody?
We're gonna hit Dan's question here.
Yeah, go for it. You can you see it, Kat?
Yeah.
Kat, let me just read it in case people are listening. Let me just read it. Kat, you mentioned there was a newer guy in class. How do you navigate introducing a newer person to the Snatch when they join a class full of experienced people? And let me give a little bit of context for Dan, because we've spoken a little bit about it. Dan's at Lifetime. No knock on Lifetime. Dan's doing a fantastic job. They do alpha conditioning. It's essentially CrossFit. Dan, for the record, owned a box in California, moved to Colorado for this opportunity at Lifetime. But yeah, they get a lot, like there's no on-ramp there.
There's no on-ramp at Ralston Creek CrossFit either.
Which I'm a fan of. I
love it.
Yeah, I think like in Ralston Creek, what do they have? Over 150 members now, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No on-ramp. So tell us more. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had 2 new people in that class. So Blake, who had done Snatch at least before.
That was the purple dude, purple sweatshirt?
He was next to the purple sweatshirt guy.
Okay.
So just to the right of him. And then just to the left of purple sweatshirt, whose name is John, by the way. We should probably call him by his name. And to the left of him, the one with the red shirt, Maggie, that was the first time she had ever done Snatch. I think I might have even said that on the video.
He had that perfect torso. The woman I said had a great torso.
Yeah. So she actually moves really, really well. So she's picked up on it pretty quickly. So is Blake. So we throw them into the deep end. That's why we do progressions. So even if they've never done Snatch, push jerk, push press, like whatever, like that's why everybody in the class goes through it together. And then I just try to take note, like knowing that they're kind of new. I think I made a comment. I'm like, is this the first time you've ever done Snatch? And she's like, yeah. Just making sure that like, I'm just watching for like really gross faults and making sure that they're following along with the class. But I mean, we've had a ton of new members this year. And I mean, we just throw them right in and they learn right along with the group and we just see and correct along with everybody. It seems to work really well.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, right? And again, whether it's, Dan's at Lifetime, it's slightly different, but really not that much. Let me say a couple other things that I think go unnoticed. One, Jeremy Strawn, owns Ralston Creek CrossFit, and there's a private Slack group for the coaches. If you're at an affiliate that doesn't have a private form of communication, that's a mistake. Texting does not count. WhatsApp does not count. WhatsApp is just a different form of texting. Because in that private group, Jeremy and Val, who kind of is Val the GM at this point, for lack of better terms?
She does all the admin, like all of our social media, everything on the scheduling back end.
I'm going to share my screen real quick. Do you think Jeremy would mind if I share this? Oops.
I think it's happening either way.
You have to ask. Come on. Man.
No, I just want to show everybody. This is important. Windows Slack. So hopefully there's nothing bad to see here. Could you guys?
Just some eggplants.
I see a Slack channel.
So point being, like, I've got my best hour. I'm on the CrossFit Slack. No big deal. But you see over here, athlete, facility, field notes, general media, right? This is Jeremy talking about coming to the mastermind that we're throwing for affiliate U clients. Point being, every time there's a new athlete, they go into athlete, and then you have new trials. And I always see, because I get everything, and it's like, cool, we got a new athlete, hurt shoulder. Like, this is where it starts, Dan, right? And I don't know if you have this at Lifetime. I know you've got some sort of communication there, but at an affiliate, you guys need to have that. Texting is not ideal. It's not only not ideal, it's backwards, because things will get buried, things will get lost. We have no allegiance to Slack. It's probably very similar to Discord Slack. Go download it. We don't make any money. Cody doesn't get any sort of raise if you download Slack, but it's free, and I would implement that. So one, have a place where you communicate. Two, you can't overdo the programming. The reason that was successful is because Kat had 16 minutes of an hour, more than that really, because you said you did some pass-throughs and you still had to get to the next thing, right? So it's programming. Like, do you have a third of a class to devote to that? A lot of people struggle to have new people assimilate into class because they don't have the time to coach. If you do mayhem programming, like, no knock on Rich or whoever's doing that, you can't have it. You have to have an on-ramp because you're not coaching. Next level to that, your coaches need to be developing, right? That was not what it was only because of the programming, but you had a level 3 in there, and you don't have to be a level 3. You could be a 2 or 1 or a 4, but someone who is like, man, I want to get better at coaching and is willing to put in the work there. So there's many factors to making that happen, but it's very possible. I mean, would you add anything else to that, Kat? As a reason you're able to do that so well there?
No, I mean, it's funny because you bring up mayhem, and that's the programming that I left, and it's like such a difference having like 15 to 20 minutes to actually like warm people up and do progressions. And like, you're right, there's no way we could have done that. Could have actually like brought somebody into the Snatch without an on-ramp otherwise. And
to be clear, I've never done mayhem programming. I hear a lot about it because we do have clients that do it, but it's just, every week people on our calls, talk about our coaches want this, our members want that. At the end of the day, if you go back to your level 1, it's reinforced at your level 2. It's certainly on your level 3. Programming has one objective, and that is to increase work capacity across broad time and modal domains, right? Your members are not thinking about that. Rarely are your coaches. They're like, this is fun. This isn't fun. Cool. Are we here to have fun? Yes. But more importantly, we're here to stay safe, and we're here to increase our fitness, work capacity across broad time and modal domains. We need to remove that subjectivity from programming and remember that programming is objective. Are my members getting fitter? And I don't care how much you're plugging into an hour, because if those people don't improve the way Kat did with that vertical torso, with all that stuff, at some point, their progress is going to be stifled. They're going to become stagnant because at some point, technique becomes equally, if not more important than everything else. Practice, right? So, look, we don't make it. I wish we made money for all these things we promote, Cody. We really should. But I mean, CAP is free starting May 1st. if you're out there paying for programming, as a box owner, I'd be like, why am I doing that when there's really good programming done by one of the best in the industry, James Hobart, and there's a focus on coaching. I spoke to Jeremy this morning. I know you guys follow NC. He's considering switching to cap for that reason. And Jeremy, in my opinion, and again, I don't know all of them. I don't know Proven. I don't know Mayhem that well. But I would say NC is up there. Like, NC's great programming. It's fun. There's time to coach. But cap is free, and as a box owner, free is free, so you have to find that balance of, are my members getting better and sprinkling that fun? Because the only way we also get better is consistency. DT said it in the coaches development group, a member that is being coached and making progress is a member that doesn't complain. That's what it comes down to. Anything else for me? Did I just go on a rant? Was that a rant?
Yeah, it was 10-minute rant. Like if
10 minutes?
If we keep this up,
10
I'm
minutes?
just gonna start clipping all the 10-minute rants to put it together into a YouTube series. It's just like if you want to listen to Ackerman talk and you want to make an ASMR playlist of Ackerman's voice. So
Do I get to take a week off if you do that then?
Maybe.
Is there enough of me out there now that I don't have to show up for calls? AI can do it?
I could probably clone you.
Okay. Anyway, if there's no other questions, Kat, we look forward to preparing you for your level 4. You did awesome. I was proud of you. Thanks, Chubby Cox. Thank you. We'll put it out there for you. I'm very proud, Kat. I'm so proud of you. I'm going to tell Jeremy, I'm going to get off this call. I'm going to shoot Jeremy a text, let him know whatever raise he gave you, it needs to double it. Double that raise.
It was a pretty good raise.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. And you already have a real job. I mean, you got a diploma or something behind you. I don't know what that is. Your GED? What is that?
Yeah, it's a degree. It's a bachelor's.
You gonna show me the money.
Show me the money, Jeremy. All right. On that, hey, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for watching. If you want to get on here, email Cody. Before you get off, please like the video. What else, Cody? Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Give us the thumbs up.
Tell a friend.
Tell your friends. Yeah.
Tell your friend that Ackerman is preparing Kat for the level 4, and you're not going to want to miss out on this. And that she has beautiful teeth. Make sure you give a compliment to somebody today. Man, that was a fun episode. We've got the game show coming up. Who's on next week's Breaking Down the L2? We had Teffy yesterday, and she was freaking awesome. You guys loved her. I think we have
EC.
EC's next week. We're breaking down nutrition with the person that wrote it, EC Sinkowski. You'll see next week, but I think that's starting like 15 minutes, a little later than usual. EC's booked on some calls, but we got her coming on, Jen Hunter Marshall. We got the game show. We're all good to go. Kat, thanks so much. I'll see you Saturday.
Awesome. See you Saturday.
See you guys.
Perfect.